All right. Before we kick it off, guys, let's do some positive focus real quick. Let's kick it off with who wants to go? What are you feeling good about this week? Business, personal? Do you want to shout anybody out on the team? You got any big plans coming up for the holidays? Anything you're looking forward to? I need 3 volunteers. Who has something? Don't be shy, or else I'm going to just call on you. Liz, talk to me.
I'm leaving Sunday out of the country for Christmas, so I'm really excited for that.
Nice.
Yes,
Where are you going?
we like to go to, my parents have a house in Mexicali, like right across from Calexico. So we do Christmas very traditional, no presents, posadas, and food, family, and that's all we do.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Excited. Hopefully my voice and my throat is better, so, you know, I like to do karaoke over there.
Karaoke? All right.
That's fun.
What do you guys eat? What's your one of your go-to dishes you guys eat over there?
Traditional, we do a little bit of everything, like pozole, tamales. We do like pierna. I'm not sure if you guys know what that means. It's like a piece of yeah, it's like a big meat marinated with stuff, and then salads, pretty much.
Nice. Awesome. That sounds good. Tamales. I had some tamales this weekend. Those are pretty bomb. All right, good stuff. What else we got? Let's get 2 more. Who wants to share? Anybody here in the office? Anybody here online? I need 2 more. Positive focus. Chris, talk to me.
I just got a new listing agreement signed last night.
Let's go. New listing sign. Let's do it, man. This is the one you were telling me about, the one that wants to list in a few months?
Yeah. So this actually came through Asif, and he's like, "Hey, I'm tagging you in because I won't be able to make it. Can you help me out?" And I was able to secure it, so we're all good.
And this is based on guidance from Enrique. Enrique said, "Hey, if you can't make it, just ask somebody in the team." So I asked somebody.
Yeah, because it's in Hollister, right?
Yeah, this is in Hollister, and they're thinking a couple months from now.
Okay. Excellent, man. That's awesome, man. So yeah, that's what I told Asif. I'm like, hey, you're all the way in like Dublin area. I'm like, so Hollister, if it's too far for you, collab with somebody on the team. You guys can work it together, someone who's closer. And now you can take that time and go invest it in, closer to you want to be. So great job to both of you guys. Great job, Asif, on executing that coaching we did. And great job to Chris for, executing the listing presentation and stuff like that. I actually watched Chris's presentation that he did with Jason, where he went through the whole listing presentation. It's actually really good. And it's on our agent launch as one of the live role plays. But he did an awesome job on doing the listing presentation. So if you haven't seen it yet, guys, go into our agent launch and watch it, and you'll get some pointers there from him. Let's give it up for that, though, one more time. Good stuff. Okay, one more. Blanca, you had your hand up. What do you got?
Shout out our team, Andrea, Tim, Melissa, all the back ends, just because whenever we're getting ready to go live and have a listing, we don't realize how many moving parts there are. So there is a lot going on, and as the agents, we don't see all of this, and it's quite a bit. So kudos to our team. I know it gets a little hectic and pressured, but our clients never really know everything behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to clean, sweep, mop, do whatever it is, because if the clients want us to execute sooner and we have a timeline and we're trying to accommodate, it just makes it really, really difficult. And in that note, for Albanese, we had close to 30 visitors over the weekend.
Wow.
So we did set an offer due date. We received an offer over the weekend. They wanted to give it a little more exposure and give enough time for offers to come in. So they're excited and happy themselves as well. So I'm hoping we're going to get that hopefully in contract this week.
Let's go.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's go, guys. Let's give it up for the Avon team. Teamwork. Definitely, guys. To speak on that, guys, I think something we got to realize too is that every listing is different, right? There are some listings, because I mean, just full transparency, I've dealt with this in the past with some agents where they're like, well, why am I paying the admin fee and this and that, right? Like it just comes up, right? On this one, there wasn't that much that was done, but I'm like, yeah, what about the other one where it was like 10 times the amount of work that was done, you know, and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say is some listings require a lot more, right? There's some listings where Andrea is going to the property 10, 15 times back and forth. Sometimes it's far away, stuff like that. And there are some listings that are a little bit easier to get on the market. But I think the moral of the story, guys, is there has to be teamwork, right? Like we have to realize that there's a whole entire checklist that they're doing. Some are going to require more work than others. And so I think count your blessings when you have an easy one, right? Because there's not many of them that are easy. And those of you guys that have done listings can attest, you know, like there's just a lot of moving parts, right? But yeah, I'm glad you guys were able to get those on. And you have a few listings going on right now.
Went live yesterday with the one on Fox Club by Brokaw and Oakland Road. So I'm gonna need some assistance. I'll send it out in Slack for the weekend, open house. There's some opportunity there. If Albany doesn't get in contract, it'll be available as well. And that one's like pretty busy.
Okay.
What price would work on both of these?
Albany's is listed for 1178, and Fox Club, we're going live for 1,089,000. We're aggressive because this was canceled, and we're listing aggressively, so we're hoping to move it along as well.
Let's go, guys.
And then, of course, my Midtown is still available, and it's still getting traction. We had 6 visitors this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's just, you know, people aren't pulling the trigger or what's going on. We're priced below the market, so.
I think, you know,
So-
just as agents in-house, just make sure that we are promoting these opportunities to our database, right? To our follow-up loss. We're really looking at the price point, location, and these are ones that you can send directly to your people in your follow-up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even in your social media, Pin is super available with the girls. Marielo's asked me, can I promote your listing? I said, of course. Have her do a social media post for you. And she started posting it. Even if you're not gonna post it or be there, just promote it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, it's a really good reason to call your past clients, your friends, your family, and your hot leads that you have, just to tell them like, hey, our team has, you know, 3 or 4 new listings coming on the market. They're in these different areas and these different price points. I wanted to give the people closest to me a heads up, just in case you know anybody that you can promote it to. You can get a sneak peek before it goes out to the public or before all the offers come in. But think about how much value that is, right? You're giving something, and it's a reason for you to stay in touch. So if I were you guys, I would just start calling all the people that I have, any hot leads that you've worked with, any past clients that you have. And it's a great time to check in also because it's the holiday season, right? And you never know that through that, a conversation can spark up. Whoa, how's the market right now? Hey, we've been thinking about doing this or that. Next thing you know, now you have an appointment with these clients, right? So it's a great reason, guys, when we have listings, to just call people or text people or email them and let them know what's going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, I really look at how many leads and buyers in our CRM. And if we have properties that are sitting, we got to make sure that we're promoting these properties to our buyers so we can see if we can double into.
100%. Good stuff, guys. So we're going to dive right into the business planning part of it, right? We're finishing the second half of our business planning session. We got about 40 minutes to kind of knock this out. And so we're going to run through this quick, but those of you guys that were here last week, who remembers what their number is, their 2026 goal for the year? How many deals and how much income and deals that it's going to take? John, what was your number? 200,000. 11 deals. Okay. Do me a favor, guys. Those of you guys in the online, write it in the chat. I just want to make sure you guys remember, because hopefully you didn't forget already from last week to this week on what your goal is. There you go. Already got one coming, right? David, what was yours?
Actually, was able to calculate it out.
Yeah.
11 deals need to be done on average. I think it was 24 or 35,000
Commission on each one?
commission.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 250, 11 deals, right? For you to hit your goal. Krista, 7 deals. Chris, 150K, 10 deals. Brendan, 9 to 12 deals, 150K. Yep. Who else? Who remembers their number? Patrick, what was your number? How many deals does that take? 14 deals, 300K. There we go. Marty, do you remember your number? 200K. How many deals does it take? 13 deals. Who else? Luis, I don't think you were here last week. Okay, we got to run through this with you. How much income do you want to make in 2026? What's the goal? Well, we all said it out loud. Somebody said 2.7 million last week.
120?
120?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. 120. Do you know how many deals it'll take for you to hit 120?
I did a business planning similar thing to this. What was it? I just gotta close one a month.
One a month? Yeah, one a month roughly, right? Yeah, it's probably going to be like 8 to 11 deals or so, depending on the size of the deal and stuff like that, right? So I just want to make sure that we all, because this is going to start the next part of our business planning session, right? Is everyone having what their number is for the year, how many deals that's going to take, and now what we're going to talk about is where you're going to get those deals from, right? So that's the next part of the planning, the business planning session. So let me go ahead and share this tab. And what I want you guys to start thinking about, whatever your number is, what are my lead gen pillars that are going to get me there, right? That's what we're talking about today, right? So I put up to 4. I don't think you should have more than 4 different lead generation pillars. In fact, like the newer you are to this business, I would say you should have maybe 2, right? As you start getting more advanced and things are really running for you, maybe you add on a 3rd. If you're kicking ass on all 3, then you can consider adding a 4th, right? What's the reason why we don't want to add a bunch of lead generation pillars? Spread yourself too thin, right? What happens when you spread yourself too thin? You get nothing done, right? You don't master anything, right? Exactly. Taking the words out of my mouth. You don't go deep enough with the lead source to really see it convert and transact, right? So the mistake we've even made in the beginning, right, was trying to do too many things, right? We were doing, online marketing, social media. We were running these what do you call it? Funnels online, these different things. We were sending out postcards. We were doing like 10 different things. And what happened is like a year later, like nothing really popped off, right? Because we weren't doing any of those 10 at a high level.
You're spraying and praying.
Yeah, we're spraying and praying, right? Yeah, we got some deals here and there, but nothing that really crushed it or killed it, right? And so it wasn't until we really looked at which lead sources were really hitting for us, and we said, hey, if we can get rid of all of them and only keep 2 or 3, which ones would they be based off the results that we've had, right? When we did that and just went all in, that's when our business really started to take off, right? So I want you guys to think about that as you're planning your business and you're trying to come up with how are you going to get leads, which ones have worked for you, right?
And I think the other thing is look at it from a point of view of what are you going to commit to, right? It really, you have to understand, like, what are you willing to commit to so that it's obviously it's work, but it becomes a lot easier when like, you know what, I'm not an open house guy, but I am going to be on social media, or I am going to do this. So figure out what that is and that you're willing to commit to it. Just don't do something because it sounds good or because someone else is doing it. Understand your personality and say, hey, look, I'm going to commit to these 1, 2, or 3 pillars.
Yep. Because what happens is, guys, everything looks good on the surface, right? But until you really dive into it and see what that lead source is all about and all the different things that you have to commit to, then you start really saying, okay, is this something that I can do long term, right? It's like when people try these crazy workouts or crazy diet plans, right? Like they start off and then they realize, oh, dude, I can't keep up with this. This is too much, right? And then they fall off and now they're not doing anything, right? So the ones that you're gonna have success with are the ones that you can stick to over time, right? It doesn't have to be fancy either. That's the thing that I want, to remind people of. Winning in this business doesn't have to be fancy. It's just picking a few things and just being really consistent with them and just doing them over and over until they start to compound, right? Does everyone know what compound interest means? What does compound interest mean? Can everybody explain it like in an easy way? Who are my smart guys online? Who can explain compound interest in an easy way?
Yeah.
Who was that?
I was going to say, hey, it's just a multiplying factor, right? So it's interest on the interest, right? That's literally what it is if I were to simplify it.
There you go. Interest on the interest. I like that. That's an easy way, right? You're earning interest on your interest, right? So as you start to have a result and you're producing, interest, right? Or in this case, you're producing results or deals, those deals start to bring you other deals, right? Because now you have more past clients that you helped. Now those refer you to other people. And so you might have started off with like 10 deals this year from one lead source, but then those 10 quickly turned to 20 and 30 and 40 over the years because those same people are referring you other people, right? And so that's where your efforts start to compound. So anytime you try a new lead source in the beginning, it's going to be very slow, right? The trick is to not quit before you start seeing the results, right?
It's even in this business though, Ricky, even in this business, when you're starting off, it starts off very slow,
Mhm.
right? And again, like you said, you can't quit, right? Because it's going to be difficult at the beginning, extremely difficult at the beginning. But once you get that momentum, once you start getting that compound process, that's when your business takes off. And I think John is a huge result of that.
Yeah. I mean, look at John, right? John's been in the beginning, it was slow, right? Because you were starting to build the pipeline. But now those leads that he talked to 6 months ago are now starting to come around. And then now it's starting to go like this, right? And we've seen that with many people in our office, right?
I also want to comment on John, though. He's still consistently putting himself out there and
Yep.
talking. He's always available for open house.
Yeah.
Always.
There you
And you
go.
got a deal from an open house.
And you might get another one.
There we go, right? So just that's proof right there, guys. Okay, so coming up with our 4 pillars, right? I filled in the first one for you, right? Because the first one should be your SOI or database, right? SOI are people who know you, like you, trust you, friends, family, colleagues, people in other, business, people that are in your phone book, friends on Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. Your database, right, is kind of all encompassing of that as well, right? Past clients that you've helped, people that you met before. This is number 1, guys. This should be the number 1 pillar that you always have. Now, some of you guys may not have a huge SOI or database, right? Depending on where you're at in your career. But the goal is that everything else that you do should go to feed your SOI and database, right? Let me give you an example. If you're working Zillow leads right now, right? You're getting leads from the team, you're talking to Zillow leads. That's great, right? Your job is to close those deals, get happy clients, right? And now add them to your database. And then that helps you grow your database. If you're working open houses, right? You're meeting strangers that come into an open house. Your goal should be to do a great job with those, make them raving fans, add them to your database, right? It's the same thing. If you're doing door knocking, cold calling, farming, sending out mailers, whatever you're doing, the goal is to take those people, do a great job, and then add them to your database. So any other lead source that you do is going to feed your database and your SOI, right? And then the plan is you keep nurturing your SOI and database because those people already had a great experience with you. And now it's that much easier to start getting referrals and repeat business from that database, right? And so everything else that you do, guys, all your pillars should eventually go to build that database. Does that make sense, guys? Right? You guys follow me there? Okay. So pillars 2, 3, and 4. This is where I want you to write down what your number 2, number 3, and 4 is. And then what I want you to list under each pillar is just write down some bullet points of how you are going to execute that in 2026. So let me give you an example. My SOI and database, what I would write is I'm going to post on social media 3 to 5 times per week. I'm going to call my SOI and database 4 times per year and invite them to events or just stay in touch, right? I'm going to put them on an email campaign, right? And so that's going into details of how I'm going to execute that plan and get leads from them. If it's open houses, let's say open houses is number 2. Well, what is your plan to execute open houses consistently, right? What does that look like? Are you doing 1 a month? Are you doing 4 a month? Where are you getting your open houses from, right? So I want you to list at least 3 or 4 bullet points on each. So we'll put some time on the clock right now. Write down your 3 to 4. If you can only think of 1, 2, or 3, that's fine. It doesn't have to be 4 pillars. And just write down at least 3 bullet points of how you're going to execute on that.
And if you need help, let us know. Finding those pillars.
Put some study music on. I'll give it like one more minute. He don't get sick. You know, sick. All right, guys, let's see. What do we got here? So, really quick, I'm gonna go around the room. Just name me your top 3 or 4 pillars, right? Don't say SOI. That one's already the main one, right? The first one. Steve, what are your top three pillars?
Agent, social media, magazine.
Agent, social media, and magazine. All right, excellent. John,
Open houses, social media, flex.
open houses, social media, and flex. There we go. Luis,
Expires for rent by owner and absentee owners.
expires for rent by owners and absentee owners. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question, right? Wouldn't those all fall under prospecting,
Yeah. You could say that.
right? So is that the only thing you're doing, or are you also doing flex, and are you also nurturing your
I'm doing
friends,
flex,
family?
too.
Okay.
For flex.
Yeah, or online. Are you doing any open houses?
Not with Flex right now. I've been pretty busy over the weekends with Flex.
Okay. Okay. So I would, if I were you, I would categorize, that's who you're going to call, right? But the lead source is calling, making calls, right? And so what I would say is I would put those all under like outbound prospecting. And then who are you calling in your bullet points could be for rent by owners, what the ones that you just said, expireds, right?
And that social media too.
Yeah, well, this is up to you, right? This is your plan, right? I'm just trying to help you refine your plan, right? So that you have three different ones that are kind of hitting three different layers, right? You can have your SOI in your database, you can have your calling, and then you can have Flex, right? That's a solid plan right there. David, what do you got?
Well, outside agents and in-house agents.
FUB, outside agents, and inside agents. When you say FUB, what do you mean by FUB?
Follow boss.
That's the CRM, right? Was that a lead source? Are you calling?
Whatever we have for our young, right, for calling and assignments and everything.
I mean,
So calling leads from our pond,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Calling leads from our pond, networking with agents.
Outside and also inside.
Okay, so what I would say is those two should be one, right?
Okay. Agents.
Because that just basically is networking with agents, right? It doesn't matter what the agents
And
are.
open houses.
Yeah, and open houses, right? So you're calling the leads that we have in FUB, your
Agent network.
agent network, and then working
houses.
open houses. There you go, all right? Rob, what do you got? Ylopo, because you're running like ads and stuff, right? Ylopo leads, Zillow Flex, and then prospecting, right? Okay, Madi, what do you got?
I will start. I'm not really a social media person. I'm learning. I also had the idea the other day with the conversation with David, and I know a couple of like small business owners.
Okay.
And try like to like prospecting them,
Okay,
and then open houses.
okay. So open houses, posting on social media, and networking with business owners. Okay, solid. Blanca, what do you got?
I also have online marketing. For me, it's also really just staying consistent with the social media. I started the end of this year, I think, and I've seen a very good pickup on that. So quarterly campaigns, and also I have to plan 2 client applications for my
Okay.
database. Lead source is Zillow Flex, and one that I really wanna focus on for 2026 is my referral and partnerships. We're
Okay.
asking for referral from my partnerships, because I
Okay.
don't do that at all. So there's a lot. I wrote down the other day, we did that exercise, and I have a lot that I could visit and ask for referral business.
Okay, so staying top of mind with your database, right? Through social media, calling, client appreciation events, those would all fall under the database, right?
Yeah.
And then Flex was one of them,
Yeah.
right?
Zillow
Zillow Flex,
Mhm.
and then networking with other businesses, right? B2B
Partnership and.
partnerships, right? Referral partnerships. Solid. Patrick, what do you got?
Social media ads, cold calling, and then Flex, and then open houses, at least 1 or 2 a month.
Okay. There you go. Solid, solid. What else we got? Anybody online? What do we got? Who wants to share theirs? Raise your hand. Liz, talk to me. What are your top 3 or 4 sources?
Open house, prospecting, and social media.
Okay. Open house, prospect. When you say prospecting, what do you mean by that?
I mean, calling my clients that this year they were saying they're waiting for next year, so I have to follow up and because like this year when I started to announce that I had my license, they were basically saying we're working on our credit, we'll be ready next year, so following up with them.
Okay. So prospecting, calling the leads that you have assigned to you in the CRM, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
social media and open houses. Okay,
Yes.
solid. Who else? Jose, talk to me.
So it's open houses, but I'm treating it almost like you said, slash tours. So on the weekends, I have to do one or the other. If I'm not doing an open house for somebody in the team or somebody with EXP, I'm having to do, doing tours with new clients. And then the other thing would be social media. And then I have like metrics that I have to do consistently now. And then the last one is basically go to my local association of realtors. I don't know if everybody knows I'm like in the North Bay. So go on Wednesdays, sit there, and then they do the tour of like upcoming properties. And that's going to help me create content for social media.
Okay. Okay, let's help him clarify that a little bit, right? Because there's a couple things that were kind of overlapping. What'd you guys pick up from that? Because he said he said property tours with clients or open houses, right?
Mhm.
So so let's remember what we're talking about is where are your leads going to come from, right?
Yeah, I think let's clarify that again. Like, what are leads coming?
Yeah,
from?
your lead pillars. This is where do your leads come from, right? So
Your activities.
yeah, not your activities, right? Not the activities that make the leads happen. So we want to get clear on where your leads are coming from, right? Where are your top 3 or 4 sources where your leads come from. So social media could be one, right? Consistently posting on social media, engaging with your friends and family, right? That's all part of your database. And then working open houses could be another one. And then I didn't see really a third one in there because some of them were kind of overlapping there. Do you have any idea for a third one?
The other one was just flex with the question mark. So I mean,
Okay, so flex, online leads, team leads, right? It could be something like that, right?
Mhm.
So that could be one of your sources, right? Online leads, whether they come from the team or whether we help you build another campaign, but some sort of online lead where you got leads coming in, right?
got it.
And so what I want to get at, guys, I know we kind of went through everyone, but as you guys can see, it's important that you guys understand the difference between where are my leads coming from versus what are the activities I have to do to make those leads happen, right?
Why don't you do this, Enrique? Why don't you explain to them? I mean, like, because you and I have done this before.
Yeah.
What are, like, when we get a new agent or an agent comes into our office, what are the 3 pillars that we recommend the fastest way to go to get their business going? Because again, I know we said pick what you like, but now let's show you what are the 3 fastest ways that you can do that's going to cost you very minimal to no money that you can do to have success immediately.
Yep. So this is some of you guys may or may have not seen this. This is our lead generation model that we show to new agents considering joining our team. Everything on the left are things you can do on your own, right? So you can work your SOI, call it Sphere database, right? You can work those people, right? By calling, texting, emailing, inviting them to events, posting on social media, right? That's how you're going to get leads from these people. Then you can work open houses as well, right? And then you can also prospect if you want to cold call, if you want to door knock, right? And make that a consistent habit that you do, you can do that as well. So these are 3 different options that I see that most agents can go do on their own, right? And then everything on the right are things that opportunities you get from the team. So our team internet leads, right? Like Flex, Redfin, stuff like that. We have listing leads as well that we get from Zillow, a couple other online sources. And then we have our internal referrals that come from our ISAs when they book appointments. Some of you guys network with our lenders on the team. You guys get referrals and stuff like that, right? So what we always advise agents is like pick like 2 of these here on this side and tap into at least one of these on the right side, right? Because then that gives you a well-balanced approach where you're hitting 3 different kind of angles. And the reason you want to hit 3 different angles, why do you want to hit 3 different pillars? What do you guys think? Why is it important that you have multiple pillars in your lead gen? Consistency. Elaborate a little more on that.
One pillar is not always going to produce.
Exactly. Right. One pillar is not always going to produce, right? But if you have like 3 that you can manage and you're hitting all 3 of them, you're constantly, working all 3 pillars, right? One month you might get a bunch of deals from one, a bunch of deals from the other, a referral from this one, right? And now you have 3 horses in the race, so to say, right? Which gets you results a lot faster, right? The challenge I see with a lot of agents is they'll only do one. They'll go all in on one, and sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't, right? So I feel, you should have at least 2 or 3, right? And that's kind of the sweet spot that I've noticed.
And so I know we're spending some time on
Yeah.
this, but I think it's important. So Enrique, tell me, so if I'm a brand new agent, I'm in here, what would you recommend me doing?
I recommend the easiest path of resistance, right?
Okay.
I recommend you work your Sphere, your database, right? That's the formula is post on social media consistently, call and text people and invite them to the meetings, right? If you post 3 or 4 times a week on social media and you call your people once a quarter to say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Come to our event. That kind of covers that pillar, right? That one's done. And you can work that into your schedule, right? Open houses. That's an easy, low-hanging fruit, right? Where if you work 2 to 4 open houses a month, right? Check, that one's done. You're going to constantly be in front of new people because you're working open houses. All you have to do is just secure the open houses, right? If it's on our team, raise your hand and participate in the open house. If we don't have anything going on our team, or you want to focus on a certain area, reach out to other agents in our network and book an open house. To me, those are the two like easiest ones, right? Prospecting, it's not easy. Like door knocking and making a bunch of cold calls, that's not the easiest path of resistance, to be honest, right? There's easier and faster ways to get business, right? And so that's why I put it on here, because there's some people that just want to do it. So I'm not going to knock you if you don't, but to me, that's not the easiest way to do it, right? Because in order to get a deal from door knocking, let's say, how many doors would I have to knock realistically to get a deal from a door knocking? Hundreds, right? Would I have to go knock on hundreds of doors, you think, to get like one seller, right? Cold calling, would I have to call hundreds and hundreds of people to, eventually get a deal? To me, yeah, it takes a long time. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just takes longer. That's what I'm saying. And so when I'm talking to a new agent or an agent who's trying to build their business, I want them to make money now, not in 6 months, not in a year, right? So that's why I think the top two are my first two choices. Then on the right side of what you get from the team, if you get on Flex and get on our incoming leads, those are quick, low-hanging fruit. Yeah, there is a fee to Zillow. Yeah, maybe the split's a little bit lower, right? But you can win today. You can win in a week, John, right? You can get a deal today and close the deal on Friday, right? And so to me, that's a quick way to get points on the board, right?
That's what I was looking for, because again, to make it so simple, guys, so simple, is you're gonna work your SOI, you're gonna work open houses, and you're gonna take the team opportunity.
Yep.
To me, as an agent, that's what I'd be doing, running all three of those together, and then they feed into it. Once you get a team lead, now you get a referral, like Blanca crushes it with that. You get a referral, now that drops into your SOI, and she continues going to nurture her SOI by doing the social media and by inviting the client.
Yeah.
Inviting the clients in, and then it just starts.
It's a simple recipe, guys, that produces consistent deals, right?
I think that's where we need to make it very clear as team leaders, to make it very clear on, this is what we recommend. Right now, your situation, if you own an insurance business, maybe you have a database, maybe you're going to be doing an event, doing something different, but this is the basics, is working your SOI, the open houses, and then the team opportunity.
Yeah. And your SOI can cover a big range, right? It could cover other businesses, just friends and family, stuff like that, right? So they all kind of fit in those categories, right? They all work, guys. That's why they're all on this list here. And so I think if I only have, a certain amount of hours in the day to put towards my business, I'm going to be spending probably, 60% of my efforts on the left side, right? Which is the sphere open houses. And I'll probably spend 40% of my efforts on the low hanging fruit from the team, right? And to me, that'll give you like a good, solid, balanced business where you got deals coming from different spots, right? And then the other thing too, like Jason said, like if you have other low hanging fruit, like you own an insurance business, you're in another business or other stuff, you have a big database and something else, then we would incorporate that somewhere in here too, right? All right. I know I'm giving you guys a lot, right? So let me stop and see if anybody has any clarifying questions.
Or if anybody wants to adjust their lead after we gave that explanation, I think it's a great opportunity for you guys to adjust your three pillars. Or you know what I mean? I think that's a great opportunity, guys. So you really walk away with some clarity for this meeting, right? Because this, again, guys, this clarity is going to give you power in 26.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So I think that's why I know we're spending some time on it, but it's important to understand and get that clarity now, so you're not lost during 26. You can at least, you can immediately go after it and start attacking.
Yeah, and as your business evolves, guys, right? Here's the other thing that people need to look at, right? When you're starting off, there's different phases of your business, right? Blanca and Rob, since they've been in the business so long, they're more advanced. They've played out a lot of these things already. So their phase may look a little bit different from the newer person starting out, right? And so that's why in the beginning, what's beneficial to any agent is reps, right? Consistent income, getting deals on the board and getting that experience, right? And then as their business builds, they can start evolving it in different ways. They could say, okay, you know what? I've already done a lot. I got business coming in. I want to start focusing more on listings, or I want to start focusing more on building my own brand, or starting a farm, right? Or adding that other fourth pillar that I haven't added yet, right? So those are things like over time, you can start evolving and tweaking, right? Okay. Anybody have questions, comments, feedback? Okay, now what I want you to write next to this, guys, since you guys have written everything down, take your total number of deals, right? Like if your goal was 12 deals, and write a number next to each source, right? How many deals are going to come from this source, that source, and the other source? Right? So let's say whatever your goal was for the year. Remember, we asked you in the beginning, what's my goal for the year? Income and deals, right? Whatever that number was. So for example, if my goal was 12 and I say, hey, I'm going to get 4 deals from this one. I'm going to get 4 from this one. I'm only doing 3 pillars, 4 from here, and then 4 from pillar number 3. Sorry. Let me share. Yeah, what I'm saying is, oh, I can annotate on the screen. Yeah, I know. How do you do that? You guys are smarter than me. So I can write, okay, I want 4 deals from this one. I want 4 deals from this one, and I want 4 deals from this one. Or maybe it's different, right? Maybe I want 10 deals from this one, 5 from here, and 5 from here, right? That's up to you guys. But I just want you guys to start thinking about, okay, if I'm working these multiple lead sources and I take my goal, where would I disperse those to, right? To which sources? What that allows you guys to do, once you kind of have like a visual of where your deals are going to come from, you're going to know how much effort you need to put into each one, right? Like if your deals are heavily weighted on SOI or database, then that means your business, you need to heavily market to those people, right? If you're like, hey, I'm kind of spreading them out over 3 kind of evenly, then just make sure you're consistently hitting each of those 3, right? But like, let's say like you only had, open houses and SOI, you're probably going to put a lot more effort on that SOI one, right? So now I'm thinking, okay, do I have to do my own client events? Do I have to call these people more often, right? What's my game plan around that? How much effort am I putting in? Okay. We're doing on time. We got 8 minutes. Okay. I think we have 2 more sheets to go over. We're going to skip the lifestyle one for now. You guys can do this one on your own. Right. This is just more questions. I mean, I would advise you guys to take some time for this, right? This is more asking about your personal lifestyle, right? Describe your ideal day-to-day lifestyle. What are your health and fitness goals, relationship goals, travel, stuff like that. I think it's good for you guys to write those things down. But for the sake of time, I want you guys to go to the skills and development one, right? This is where I want you guys to start thinking of systems, processes, what's working, what's not working, what moves you need to make in your business in order to start moving forward towards that goal, right? So we're going to take the last few minutes of just going through these. Which systems did you implement in 2025 that worked the best for you? So think of 2025, right? If you had some results, which one of the systems or processes really helped you out? Is there anything that's still missing? Like, man, like I crushed it with buyers, but I'm clueless on listings, right? I got to start working on that. Or I crushed it on Flex, but I haven't done any open houses, right? I really need to, buckle down and learn how to do open houses, stuff like that. And then all you got to do is put like a simple little thought. This doesn't have to be elaborate, but this is just to have you take inventory, right? How will these systems elevate your business in 2026? Are there any skills you got to focus on in 2026? And how will they impact you? And then are there any educational things you plan on doing in 2026? Any seminars, conferences, events, any courses you want to take, anything like that? And how do you think they'll benefit you? So we'll put the last few minutes on the clock and you guys just fill this one out. Alec, you wanted a copy of that sheet? It's in Slack. So I posted it in Slack this morning. There's a Google Doc in there. Actually says I could share it here. There you go. I guess I just shared it in the chat too. It's AI. All right, guys, we're coming up on time. Let's do a quick share real quick, and then we'll wrap this thing up. I also just encourage you guys to finish this on your own, right? This is definitely a document that could take hours to plan. Like if you want to really do it the right way, we're trying to cram it all in a small session. But remember, this is the work right here that is going to set you up for a good 2026, right? Is walking in with clarity and having a game plan that you can execute so that you're not all over the place, just doing whatever comes to mind, right? It's real easy to get distracted. It's real easy to see shiny objects out there. Oh, this looks like it's cool. This looks like it works, right? But Clarity is what's going to equal power for you guys, right? So really quick, guys, what systems in 2025 do you think really worked for you? And maybe what's missing? Let me just get like two shares real quick. Who got something?
I can go for it.
Go ahead, go first.
I was saying, hey, better follow up, right? I mean, consistency is follow up. The thing is, yes, getting leads is good, having initial conversations is good, but unless you're on it, right, they go buy or sell with somebody else. So that's one of the things that I'd like to focus on.
Okay, so really trying to dial in your follow-up process, right? Okay, Luis, what do you got?
I was gonna say just really learning follow boss and all that it really does. It's a really powerful tool.
Yeah, 100%. So learning follow-up boss has really helped you out this year.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, guys. Yeah, follow-up's a great tool. If you know how to use it, it can definitely take your business to the next level. Anybody else, guys? Any systems that really worked for you this year that you look back, you're like, man, like I'm glad I did this or worked on this part that's helped me out?
With Jason the Alliance, using all the tools, man, it's like I told you, get back that positive in business for sure.
Yeah, excellent.
Just everything they use.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay.
I want to share.
Yeah, go for it.
What is going to be the agent launch? Agent launch for me, I think that's something that we implemented this year.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely benefited me in the sense of I have a place to point my agents when they have a question.
Yeah.
Right. I had, when they want to submit a new deal. Well, here you go. Watch this video. I want to do an open house at a high level. Watch this video. Right. Buyer presentation. And I'm excited for 26 because we're just going to continue to add to it. But I highly recommend you guys to tap into checking out Agent Launch. It's definitely helped a lot of our agents, and it's definitely helped Enrique and I to point our agents in the right direction.
Yeah, 100%. And shout out to those of you guys that have really taken Agent Launch seriously, right? Because I can log in and see who's actually watched the videos or not. And you'd be surprised, guys. A lot of people haven't really gone through all of the videos, or maybe you watched them, but you didn't check like completed, right? I don't know, but there are some people like Krista. Krista, shout out to you. You've watched like every single video in Agent Launch, right? Like she's probably one of the few that has like almost, I think 100% of she watched every single video in our Agent Launch, right? And so there's a lot of stuff in there, guys, that you can learn from. Where if you just watch the videos and go through, it'll help bridge the gap and fill in a lot of the holes, right? Okay. Really quick, what are your top skills that you got to focus on improving for the new year that you think will move your business forward? Top skills that you got to focus on improving. And I'm not talking about habits, right? Like be more consistent, stuff like that, right? Follow up more, right? Those are more like activities. I'm talking about skills. Like, is there a certain skill that you think, hey, if I got better at this skill, it'll help me move my business forward? Time blocking, right? Time blocking. When you're super busy, time is racing against you, right? Time blocking. If I got better at really dialing into my calendar, time blocking, making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do at certain times, that's huge, right? That's actually something that I just recently am working on now, personally. What else, guys? Is there a top skill that you think, hey, if I really learned this skill, I really got this part of the business down, it would move my business forward? Better at open houses. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Better at open houses, right? Open houses is a whole system, right? Like there's from like how you door knock it to how many signs you put out to what do people see when they come to the open house, what's displayed, what value you give. Like, yeah, how do you show up? What are you wearing? What do you say when they walk in? How do you get them to sign in, right? Like that's a whole entire system right there where if you really dial that in and you want open houses to be a pillar, like there's so many ways you can take open houses to the next level, right? Which will increase your results, right? Now you're doing these open houses, but you're getting more out of them. So I think that's a great skill. One more. What's one more? What's a top skill that you think if you really got this skill down or system down, it would take your business to the next level? Anybody online? We can't end the meeting unless someone talks.
Learn how to close.
Learn how to close. I think everybody, right? Learn how to close, right? Learning how to ask for the business, learning how to go through the presentations and get to the end and get them to commit to move forward. That is a skill. It's a skill. It's an art, right? It has to do with confidence, the words you say. Are you asking for the business? I think that's across the board, right? If you get better at closing, your business will move forward, right? It'll grow exponentially. So then now you have to ask the question, how do I get better at closing? Role playing, practicing, maybe even taking some courses, right? There's courses on negotiations, how to be a better presenter. Who feels like they can come up in front of a room and talk in front of a room and like just feel really confident and deliver to a room? Raise your hand if you feel just about whatever, any topic. Confident enough, right? After a couple beers. Funny that 3 people raised their hand, right? But remember, that's a skill, right? Like there's classes for that. Anybody ever heard of Toastmasters, right? There's classes that you can take to get better at being able to present in front of people and just speak, public speaking. Don't you think if you got better at public speaking, that would make you better when you're meeting people at open houses, when you're going on buyer appointments, listing appointments and stuff like that? So that's a skill, right? Sometimes we think, oh, I know it all, right? Or I've been doing this long enough. I think I got them all covered, but there's always a next level. What is the next level for you, right? No matter where you're at, 20 years, 5 years, 5 months, there's a next level, right? That you could be doing. So I want you guys to think about that, right? Because if not, what happens is we just keep doing the same thing we're doing over and over. And then when you do the same thing, what do you get? The same results. Now, if you're getting great results right now and you're fine with that, then just keep doing the same thing, right? But if you're like, I don't like where I'm at, I'm here, but I want to be here, well, then something has to change, right? Your plan, your purpose, your why, your skills, all those things have to be tweaked and elevated if you want to get to another level, right? I know I'm preaching a little bit, guys, but I think this is important, right? Because we're wrapping up the new year. We only got a couple weeks left in the year. 2026 could be your breakthrough year where you have the best year possible if you commit to a plan, you decide, you get really clear on what it's going to take, and then you implement, right? And you have some accountability built in around that. All right, last couple things, guys. I know I'm a little over, just a couple quick announcements. So we are planning a kickoff party for the team, right? We always do our Christmas party stuff in January, right? After the holidays are over, we do like more of a kickoff celebration. So our New Year kickoff celebration, I sent out a calendar invite today. It's going to be on Friday, January 23rd. It's a Friday. It's going to be from like 6 to 10 p.m. Hopefully you guys can make it. I'm still trying to lock down where we're going to do it at, right? Whether we do it here at the office again or we do it at another venue. But details will come, but I at least want you guys to lock in the date, right? I sent you guys all a calendar invite to everybody on the team. Just make sure you let us know if you can be there. Next week, guys, our team meeting will be online only. So we will have a Tuesday meeting. I realize it's the week of Christmas. Some people might be traveling. Some people might be shopping. That's fine. But those of you guys who can make it, who just want to check in and just keep the momentum going, we'll do a Tuesday meeting, but it'll be online, right? And then we won't have another meeting until the first Tuesday of the new year, which is January 6th, right? No training either, right? And so what we want to do, so next week, Tuesday, online, office is still open. If you guys are working and you guys got stuff to do, like come to the office. We're still available, but we want to use this time. We're still going to be working. We want to use this time to do one-on-ones with people, right? So those of you guys that went through the business plan and you're like, hey, like I'm solid. I know what I got to do. Like, let's just make it happen. I just got to start implementing. More power to you. Those of you guys are like, hey, I want some help, or I'd love to pick your brain, or I'd love to show you my plan, or I'd love to maybe help you give me some ideas or coaching on how I can make X, Y, and Z happen. That's a one-on-one right there, right? Book a one-on-one. We're going to have some downtime, right? So we could be on Zoom or whatever. It doesn't have to be in person. But if we can help you get clarity on your business and we can see how we can support you on those goals, that's what we want to use kind of these next 2 weeks for, right?
And no meeting, no training this week.
Yeah, no training this week. Next week's the Christmas week. We'll have the Tuesday online. And then our first meeting will be that Tuesday of the new year, which is January 6th. Sound good? Question?
Yeah. Kike, Jason, you guys said no training this Thursday. You're not talking about next Thursday. You're talking about 2 days from
No
today.
training this Thursday or next Thursday. Yeah, this Thursday we're not going to have training, guys. We had some stuff that we're doing. Next
Okay.
Thursday there won't be training. Next Tuesday there'll be online Tuesday meeting, right? We may just
Yeah, the next Thursday is gonna be whatever's after the 6th, because it's Christmas and New Year's.
yeah. I'll put it in Slack, guys, just so it's spelled out there. It's a little confusing.
Thank you.
But reach out to us, guys, if you need anything. The other thing is, like, there's still 2 weeks left in the year, guys. So I know there's some holidays, but we got some stuff working. John's writing an offer. I know Mark said he was writing 3 offers, right?
Who has a buyer that get in contract?
Yeah, does anybody do me a favor, and then we'll end with this. If you got any clients you're working on right now that you think you can make something happen before the end of the year, just throw it in Slack right now, please. You know, maybe you could write, 1 buyer, 1 seller, whatever, right? Write whatever you guys have.
Can you write the first name?
First
Write the
name.
First name, please.
All right.
I can hold you guys accountable.
Jason wants first name, right?
Yeah,
So
a B for buyer, first name, and S for seller. That's it.
yeah, if you write Tom,
B.
buyer, or Jeff, seller, or
Yeah, we want to, again, guys, we want to get a count for our numbers for the end of the year, because again, Enrique and I are going to be meeting. So if you guys have a buyer or seller that you can get in contact, just don't make up numbers, please.
yeah,
Give us a solid, yes, you know what, we're going to get this guy in contract. A B for a buyer, S for a seller, and their first name, because then I can reference that and follow up us. Please.
yeah, because we still have to let Zillow know where we're at. We still want to close the year strong. Yeah, if you have nothing, don't post anything. Only post in Slack, in our Slack channel, right? If you have something. Those of you guys that are working on stuff right now. I know there's a few of you guys who are working on stuff. You're trying to get 1 or 2 more in before the new year.
Mark, John, Mark, you have a couple. Patrick, you have a couple. So put them in, yeah, help us out, guys. I want to get a count.
Let's see what we got. There we go. We got Luis, Guadalupe, and Jagdesh,
There we go.
buyer, John, Michael, okay. Madi has Jesus, a buyer, Chang, a seller for Rob. Nicho has a buyer, James, Blanca, Vishal, and Anish. Is that 2 separate buyers or 1? Okay, so you have 2. Let's go. All right, we still got a few, guys. Come on. Anybody else? If anybody else has anything, just drop it in Slack. Put the first name of your client, and put whether they're a buyer or seller. Anybody you think can get in contract, they're writing offers, or they're signing a listing before the end of this year. All right, so I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think Mark has a couple as well.
Mark has 2 or 3.
I think he said he was writing 3 offers. Yeah, there you go, big. So we have at least 10 or 11 guys, people that are really hot and they can transact before the end of the year. Solid. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, that's all we got. I appreciate you guys showing up. We'll see you next Tuesday for the online team meeting. And then the next meeting after that will be first Tuesday of the year. I'll drop this in Slack as well, just to remind you guys. Let me know if you need anything. Reach out, guys, if you want to book those one-on-ones. Let's get something going. Appreciate you guys.